Fellas, are you still powdering your balls? You know you don't need to, right? If you want to keep your fellas feeling cool and dry all day and reduce chafing, then you need to get yourself the Crop Preserver. The 24-hour non-powder moisturizer and deodorant was designed for your butt, balls, and body. Boasting active pH control, anti-chafing, quick absorbing, and made in the beautiful US of A. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Crop Preserver. Your balls will thank you.
Through the first two Patriots preseason games, we've seen very different performances from the backup quarterbacks. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. And Evan, in the game against the Titans, a major step back for both Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham. They were unbelievable in the preseason opener against the Detroit Lions. And then obviously they wavered a little bit in this game against the Titans. So with Brian Hoyer, obviously, we thought that he could be QB2 because of his experience. Jarrett Stidham, obviously more upside, but how do you feel now evaluating both of them since you've seen the kind of ups and downs?
I think it's about the same as where we were in Detroit. Listen, I think that for starters, the Detroit defense that they played against last week was not very good. I think we learned that last night. The Titans played a little bit more of their, not their starters, but a little bit more of kind of like their twos, you know, they're right behind the starters or guys that are going to rotate in as rotational players, but not every down players. So they played a little bit more brand names, let's call them, last night than the Lions did a few weeks ago. But I think the biggest thing for Hoyer, first of all, that interception, I think it's both on Hoyer and on Braxton Berrios. It wasn't the best route from Braxton Berrios. The good news for Hoyer, though, is he's still making all the right decisions. It's not like the interception was a bad choice. That was the right throw against that coverage in the right spot. It just was a little late, a little bit underthrown, didn't have enough juice on it, and Berrios' route could have been a little bit better. So I'm not going to overreact too much to what Hoyer did. I think with Stidham, the first thing that we learned last night was just all the hype of anointing him as the heir apparent and all that kind of stuff is just it's not useful to anybody. It's not useful to him. It's not useful to kind of as commentary because really he is at the beginning stages of an NFL career right now. So he had those 3 interceptable balls. 2 of them really I had a lot of trouble with. The one in the flat where he tried to hit the hook, he was just guessing on that play. He knew the coverage, pre-snap coverage cell. He assumed that corner was going to play off and that stop route was going to be there, and he didn't even check it. He just threw it, and that's a dangerous pass. Then obviously the one under pressure was actually like eerily reminiscent of Tom Brady's interception in Pittsburgh last year, where you're just kind of under pressure and you just chuck it up and you're trying to throw it out of bounds and it just doesn't make it out of bounds. Obviously Stidham got lucky on all 3 of those plays and none of them ended up in interceptions. And you look at the box score and he's 14 for 19 for 200 yards and a passer rating of over 120. And it's like if he had at least 1 or 2 interceptions, let alone 3 in that box score, that passer rating plummets. So, you know, it's really one of those box score versus actually going back and watching the tape. But with Stidham, you know, lastly, it was good news to see him come back and on that 99-yard drive and really kind of shred that backup Titans defense and make a lot of high-level throws that gives us that optimism that he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. He did redeem himself towards the end of the game, and a couple big plays he made. He ran for first downs. A couple long runs. We saw Tom Brady get pumped up about that because that's something we don't often see from TB12. So is that part of the upside of Stidham as well as his athleticism? Yeah,
well, I wouldn't get too carried away about him scrambling. Like, I think against starting caliber defenses, he's not going to have the speed to just be able to run around like that. But one thing that he can do is he can get outside the pocket and make throws. And that was something that we saw him do last night a little bit and saw him do at Auburn. Those bootleg play actions, he's got the big arm. So you start to get him on the move, get him some bigger windows down the field, and use that big arm as kind of more of an athletic quarterback than maybe what we've seen in the past with Brady. That's something that I think he's going to be a strength of his. He's been a very good play action passer so far in the preseason, and that bodes well. The Patriots are a good play action passing team. It's interesting. A lot of the things that Stidham does, you know, fits in pretty well. You start to see kind of what they saw in him in the draft that was maybe different from what he did at Auburn.
And this Patriots Report is brought to you by betonline.ag. Head to their website, enter promo code CLNS50 to receive your bonus for all of our Patriots coverage. Head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.